During an event today, Chief Judge John McConnell Jr. of Rhode Island said he's gotten hundreds of vile phone calls, and that's not even the worst of it.
There were 6 credible death threats against my life. Someone was on the dark web searching for my home address because this is a quote, he wanted Smith & Wesson to pay me a visit at my home.
Law professor James Sample back with me. They actually played one of these calls at the event. The person on the phone telling the judge he hopes he gets assassinated. And this has been going on for years. What is the real world impact of this?
The real world impact is extraordinary. And, you know, in this left, right, blue, red world, there still should be some things on which we can agree, right? Let's start with some very simple propositions. Death threats are bad, right? Death threats against public servants are bad. You know, in New Jersey, New Jersey passed a law a couple of years ago known as Daniel's Law, named for the son of Judge Esther Salas, who was assassinated when he came to the door to answer the doorbell, and a disgruntled litigant looking for Judge Salas murdered him. This is threats against the families and of public servants and the public servants themselves. It's bad for humanity, it's bad for democracy, and it is a growing and serious concern that I think has a real source.
Well, Judge Salas actually talked about it today. Judges getting pizzas delivered to their home as a way to let judges know, I know where you live. Here's what she said about that.
July's hard. And then to hear that my beautiful son's name, you know, everything that Danny stands for is love and light, you know, and to hear people using it as a weapon, weaponizing his name to inflict fear on, you know, Judge McConnell and Judge Lasnik and Judge Lasnik's kids. And by the way, it doesn't end with federal judges. I just found out recently, Florida judges state judges are now receiving pizzas in Daniel's name. So now Florida judges, state judges that are just doing their jobs are getting pizzas in my beautiful boy's name.
So there's a knock on the door, somebody gives you a pizza, it's from her murdered son. This is another level of cruelty.
It absolutely is. And, you know, I said it starts somewhere. And we'll never rid society of all of the crazed individuals out there, particularly who have access to weapons. We've seen that in a number of contexts, including right here in New York within the last week. But if you think about this, it has a genesis, right? The fact that this is more common than it used to be. And one of the starting points, one of the points of departure is a president who is consistently referring, and these are quotes that I wrote down during the last segment, to radical left-wing lunatics, communist judges, individuals who are crooked lunatics, a Department of Justice that is suing the entire federal bench of the state of Maryland, or characterizations like rogue judges. When we normalize that kind of rhetoric and it comes straight from the top, should we be shocked that some people resort to the very extreme and the worst possible ends? I think not. I mean, it's terrible, it's unspeakable, but it also has some solutions. And one of the solutions is the protection of these public servants' privacy. In New Jersey, Judge Salas's home state has taken a very progressive effort in protecting that privacy. What's amazing is that those efforts are being challenged in court by data brokers because the data brokers can't do without the extra tiny profit that comes from each individual incremental data point, including the data points of the home addresses of public servants and their families.
James Sample, an important message. Thank you. Still ahead, the new bill to ban lawmakers from stock trading.